What if the North Pole is hiding something so profound, so world-shattering, that its icy silence is the only thing keeping it secret? Think about it. This remote, frozen frontier has been at the center of whispered legends, covert operations, and unexplained phenomena for centuries. Why? What is so special about this place that governments and explorers alike have risked everything to uncover its mysteries? Here's a bombshell. During the Cold War, the US government launched a top-secret operation called Project Iceworm, a plan to build nuclear missile bases beneath the Arctic ice. Officially, it was abandoned. But unofficially? Some say they discovered something under the ice they couldn't explain. Something so classified, it's been buried deeper than the project itself. And the mysteries don't end there. The magnetic North Pole is moving, fast. Scientists can't fully explain why. Could it be a natural phenomenon, or is there something else at work, something hidden beneath the ice that's pulling it like a magnet? Then there are the legends, stories of strange lights, impossible sounds, and ancient myths of gateways to other worlds hidden in the Arctic. These aren't just campfire tales. Indigenous tribes, explorers, and even military personnel have reported events that defy logic. Could the North Pole be a portal to something greater? Or worse, something we're not meant to see? The question is, why is the truth about the Arctic so carefully guarded? Is it just a frozen frontier? Or is it a vault protecting secrets that could rewrite everything we know about history, science, and even humanity itself? Stay with me. The deeper we dig, the stranger it gets. Let's crack open the ice and find out what's been buried. The North Pole, a frozen, barren expanse where temperatures plunge so low that life itself seems impossible. And yet, for centuries, this remote frontier has been at the center of an invisible war. Why? What makes this desolate, ice-covered region so important that nations have fought over it in secret, waged silent battles, and risked everything to control it? Let's start with the explorers. The daring, desperate men who braved unimaginable conditions to plant their flags on the ice. At first, it seemed like a noble pursuit, conquering the unknown, expanding the boundaries of human achievement. But look closer. These expeditions were rarely about discovery alone. Behind every flag was a government hungry for power, driven by an unspoken question. What's up there, and how can we use it? Fast forward to the Cold War, when the Arctic wasn't just a wilderness, it was a weapon. This was no ordinary battleground. It was a hidden chessboard where the United States and the Soviet Union played out their most secretive and high-stakes moves. Think about it. The shortest path between these two nuclear-armed superpowers is over the Arctic. This frozen expanse became a corridor for bomber patrols, spy planes, and surveillance satellites. But here's where it gets truly intriguing. While we were told about radar stations and missile defense systems, there were whispers of something more. Secret bases carved into the ice, experiments that pushed the boundaries of human and technological limits, and covert operations that have never been officially acknowledged. Take Project Iceworm, for instance, a classified US initiative to build a sprawling network of nuclear missile launch sites under Greenland's ice sheet. Officially, the project failed. Unofficially, some say its true purpose remains hidden, buried along with the ice. And then there's the present day. The Arctic isn't just a relic of Cold War strategy, it's the front line of a new global struggle. Beneath the ice lies an estimated 13% of the world's undiscovered oil, 30% of its natural gas, and a treasure trove of rare minerals critical for modern technology. Whoever controls these resources could dominate the global economy for decades to come. Russia has planted titanium flags on the seabed, claiming the Arctic as its own. China has declared itself a near-Arctic state, building icebreakers and military infrastructure. And the United States? Quietly ramping up its Arctic presence, all while maintaining a veil of silence. But resources and power are just one layer of this mystery. Could the Arctic be hiding more than oil and gas? Over the years, explorers and scientists have reported bizarre phenomena, lights that seem to dance with purpose, sounds that can't be explained, and landscapes that appear where no one has ever set foot. Indigenous myths speak of ancient gateways and forces beyond our understanding. Could there be a reason why this frozen expanse has remained so fiercely contested? Is it just geography, or does the North Pole hold secrets that transcend the physical world? Ask yourself this: why do we hear so little about what's really happening in the Arctic? Why are military operations, scientific discoveries, and geopolitical maneuvers wrapped in such layers of secrecy? Could it be that the North Pole is more than a strategic asset? Could it be a key to unlocking truths we're not ready to face? The North Pole is more than a place, it's a question. A question that governments, explorers, and scientists have been asking for centuries but never answering in full. And as the ice melts and the Arctic becomes more accessible, we have to wonder, will those secrets finally be revealed or buried even deeper? Beneath the icy, windswept surface of Greenland lies one of the Cold War's most audacious and enigmatic projects, Project Iceworm. Officially, it was a failure, a grand but ultimately doomed attempt by the United States to turn the Arctic into a hidden nuclear launch pad. But was it really just an experiment gone wrong? Or was it something far more secretive, something that might still be influencing the way governments operate today? Let's unravel this frozen conspiracy, starting with Camp Century, the so-called city under the ice. In the 1960s, the U.S. Army began constructing this extraordinary facility beneath Greenland's ice sheet. On the surface, it appeared to be a scientific outpost, a symbol of Cold War ingenuity tasked with studying Arctic conditions and testing human resilience in one of the harshest environments on Earth. But beneath this thin layer of legitimacy was a much darker purpose. The true goal was chilling, a sprawling network of tunnels and chambers capable of housing hundreds of nuclear missiles, all hidden beneath a shifting, frozen landscape. The plan was genius in its simplicity. The Arctic's isolation and proximity to the Soviet Union made it the perfect location for a secret weapons system. And the ice itself? It would serve as natural camouflage, shielding the operation from satellite surveillance and potential sabotage. The sheer scale of this endeavor boggles the mind. Miles of tunnels were carved into the ice, interconnected chambers were reinforced with steel, and a nuclear reactor, the first of its kind, was shipped to the site to power the hidden city. Camp Century wasn't just a military base. It was a glimpse into a dystopian future where war could be waged from beneath the Earth itself. For a brief moment, it seemed the project might succeed. But then the Arctic revealed its true nature. Unlike solid ground, the ice sheet is alive. It shifts, it compresses, and it reshapes itself over time. The tunnels began to collapse under the immense pressure, and the delicate machinery of Camp Century was no match for the power of nature. By 1966, the project was officially abandoned, declared a failure, and left to the history books. At least, that's the story they want you to believe. Here's where it gets interesting. Camp Century wasn't just about missiles. It was also a research hub, drilling into the ice to extract core samples that provided a glimpse into Earth's ancient past. These cores revealed invaluable information about climate patterns and environmental shifts over tens of thousands of years. But some reports suggest the scientists found something else, something that was never shared with the public. Rumors persist of anomalies buried deep beneath the ice, objects that didn't belong, unexplained geological formations, and findings that raised more questions than answers. Could it be that Camp Century stumbled upon evidence of a lost history, remnants of an ancient civilization, or even something extraterrestrial? These are the kinds of questions that were never answered, buried alongside the project itself. And then there's the question of what was left behind. When Camp Century was abandoned, not everything was removed. Toxic waste, abandoned infrastructure, and even remnants of the nuclear reactor remained trapped beneath the ice. For decades, this wasn't considered a problem. The ice was seen as eternal, an unchanging vault that would keep these relics locked away forever. But now, with climate change accelerating, the Arctic's ice sheet is melting. And as it melts, these long-hidden secrets are beginning to re-emerge. Imagine what might happen when the remnants of Camp Century are fully exposed. It's not just about radioactive waste or collapsed tunnels. It's about the possibility of unearthing everything that's been buried alongside them. What else did the military leave behind? Classified documents? Evidence of experiments? And what about those mysterious findings that were never disclosed? Project Iceworm and Camp Century are a testament to the lengths governments will go to protect their interests and to hide their secrets. If a nuclear city could be hidden beneath the ice for decades, what else could be lying in wait, hidden just out of sight? The Arctic has always been a place of mystery, but perhaps its greatest mysteries aren't natural, they're man-made. And now, as the ice recedes and the hidden history of the Arctic comes to light, we have to ask, are we ready for what's about to be uncovered? Could the melting ice reveal truths that challenge not just our understanding of the Cold War, but our understanding of the world itself? This isn't just a story about the past. It's a story about the future, and about the secrets that might finally be thawing out. The Arctic is not just a realm of ice and desolation. It's a place where the boundaries between the known and the unknown blur. For centuries, it has stood as a cold, enigmatic fortress, whispering secrets to those brave, or foolish, enough to venture into its icy grip. From bizarre natural phenomena to haunting myths and puzzling archaeological finds, the Arctic seems to defy explanation. What if these mysteries aren't just anomalies, but pieces of a larger puzzle? Start with the aurora borealis, those mesmerizing ribbons of light that stretch across the Arctic sky. Science has tried to demystify them, explaining them as collisions between solar particles and Earth's magnetic field. But what science doesn't explain is why so many cultures, separated by time and geography, view these lights as something profoundly otherworldly. Inuit legends describe the northern lights as souls playing in the afterlife. Norse mythology claimed they were reflections from the shields of the Valkyries, warriors guiding fallen heroes to the halls of the gods. Could these stories be more than poetic metaphors? What if the lights are more than just particles? What if they are echoes of an energy we don't yet understand? And then there's the Arctic hum, a low-frequency, droning sound reported by residents and explorers across the region. It's been described as a faint, persistent noise that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Some have dismissed it as ice shifting, but that explanation doesn't sit well with those who've heard it. Researchers have yet to pinpoint its source. Could it be a natural phenomenon, or something far more deliberate? Some theorists suggest the hum might be a signal, perhaps from an ancient system buried beneath the ice, or a technology not of this Earth. Let's dive deeper into the waters of the Arctic, where mysteries multiply. Consider the bloop, a powerful underwater sound detected by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration in 1997. It was so loud it was picked up by sensors thousands of miles apart. While some attributed it to shifting icebergs, others pointed out that its frequency pattern was organic, similar to that of a living creature. But here's the chilling part. If it was biological, the size of the creature would dwarf anything known to science. Could the Arctic Ocean, vast and largely unexplored, be hiding something ancient and colossal? Then there's the question of human history, or prehistory, in the Arctic. In 2016, the discovery of copper-wrapped mummies at Zeleny Yar sent shockwaves through the archaeological community. These mummies, preserved in permafrost for over a millennium, suggest a level of technological sophistication far beyond what was thought possible for the time. The copper wrapping wasn't just for preservation, it seemed to serve a purpose, perhaps spiritual or even technological. Where did this knowledge come from? Could it have been shared or left behind by a forgotten civilization? Arctic legends take these questions to another level. The Inuit tell stories of the Tornet, shadowy beings said to have inhabited the Arctic long before humans arrived. According to lore, the Tornet were advanced, powerful, and deeply connected to the ice and its secrets. But as humans expanded into the Arctic, the Tornet disappeared, retreating into the ice, or possibly into another dimension. These aren't just myths. Across cultures, tales of others in the Arctic persist. often describing beings with knowledge and abilities far beyond our own. Modern mysteries amplify these ancient tales. There have been countless reports of unidentified flying objects spotted in the Arctic skies, lights moving at impossible speeds, stopping abruptly and changing direction in ways that defy physics. Some suggest these could be advanced aircraft developed by military powers, but others believe they could be something more extraordinary. After all, the Arctic's isolation makes it the perfect testing ground, not just for human technology, but perhaps for something alien. Even beneath the ice, there are unsettling discoveries. In 2018, satellite imaging revealed massive, unexplained structures hidden beneath the Arctic ice sheet. These formations, stretching for miles, don't appear to be natural. Could they be the remnants of an ancient city now entombed in ice? Or perhaps something even more significant, evidence of advanced technologies or civilizations that predate recorded history? Here's where the theories grow even bolder. Some believe the Arctic is a gateway, not just metaphorically but literally, a point where the barriers between dimensions or realms are weaker. Indigenous myths speak of portals, places where the physical world and the spirit world collide. Could these stories hint at hidden forces, at the possibility that the Arctic isn't just a region, but a key to something far greater? And as the ice melts, these secrets are starting to emerge. What lies beneath could rewrite everything we know, not just about the Arctic, but about our history, our planet, and our place in the universe. From mysterious sounds and unexplainable lights to the discovery of ancient artifacts and inexplicable structures, the Arctic seems to be guarding something that may be revealed as the ice continues to retreat. The question is, are we ready for what's about to be uncovered? The Arctic has always been a place of mystery, but in the modern era, it has also become a chessboard for some of the most secretive military operations in history. From Nazi Germany to the Cold War superpowers and even today's geopolitical titans, the Arctic has been a stage for covert activities, experimental technology, and espionage. The vast frozen landscape provides not only isolation, but also natural concealment, making it the perfect place to hide things or to find them. Take, for instance, the discovery of Schatzgräber, a forgotten German military base on a remote Arctic island. Built during World War II, this weather station wasn't just about forecasting storms. It was a critical piece of the Nazi war machine, used to provide strategic data for submarine operations. When the base was rediscovered in 2016, explorers found its remains eerily preserved in the icy tundra, rusting fuel drums, weather instruments, and documents written in German. But the real question is, why was it so far north? Some believe Schatzgräber wasn't just a weather station but part of something much larger. The Nazis were infamously obsessed with the occult and with myths of lost civilizations. Could they have been searching for something in the Arctic? There are theories, unproven but tantalizing, that suggest the Nazis believed the Arctic held ancient relics or gateways to hidden worlds. Were they chasing myths, or did they know something we don't? Fast forward to the Cold War, and the Arctic transformed from a mythical frontier into a high-stakes battleground. The Soviet Union established drifting ice stations, floating bases built on massive slabs of Arctic ice. These stations weren't just for scientific research, they were also hubs for surveillance and intelligence gathering, positioned to monitor American activities in the region. The US, of course, wasn't idle either. They built their own facilities, including the infamous Distant Early Warning Line, DEW Line, a series of radar stations designed to detect incoming Soviet bombers. But what the public wasn't told is that some of these installations weren't just for defense. They were also sites for secret experiments. Both the US and the Soviet Union reportedly conducted tests in the Arctic that pushed the boundaries of science and ethics. Rumors persist of biological weapons experiments, weather manipulation technologies, and even attempts to tap into the Earth's magnetic field for energy or weaponry. Official records are scarce, many were classified or destroyed, but the whispers refuse to fade. And then there are the claims of modern espionage. As tensions rise in the Arctic today, with Russia, the United States, and even China vying for control, reports of secretive activities in the region have surged. Russian military exercises in the Arctic have grown increasingly bold, involving nuclear-capable submarines and long-range bombers. Meanwhile, the U.S. is quietly increasing its Arctic footprint, reopening old bases and deploying advanced surveillance drones. But the most intriguing reports come from independent researchers and satellite imagery, which have revealed what appear to be hidden installations on Arctic islands and undersea structures off the northern coasts of Canada and Russia. Could these be remnants of Cold War projects, forgotten by history but still standing in the icy silence? Or are they part of something new, modern operations so secret that even their existence is denied? Consider the case of HAARP, the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, often associated with conspiracy theories about weather control and mind-altering technologies. While HAARP itself is located in Alaska, similar facilities have been rumored to exist in the Arctic Circle. Could these installations be part of an ongoing effort to manipulate the environment, or even the human mind? And what about the mysterious disappearances? Over the decades, numerous aircraft and ships have vanished in the Arctic without a trace. While some can be explained by the harsh conditions and treacherous ice, others remain unsolved, fueling speculation that something or someone is operating in the region, intercepting and erasing anything that comes too close to the truth. The Arctic is a blank slate, a place where the rules of transparency don't seem to apply. Governments have long exploited its isolation to conduct operations they wouldn't dare attempt elsewhere. But as the ice melts and satellite technology advances, some of these secrets are starting to come into focus. The question isn't whether the Arctic has been used for secret military activities, it's how much of that story we've been allowed to know. What else might be concealed beneath the ice, in remote outposts, or under the Arctic Ocean? And why does the secrecy persist? The Arctic has been called the last frontier, but it may also be the final hiding place, a cold, unyielding vault for the truths we're not ready to face. For centuries, the magnetic North Pole has been a dependable constant, a marker that guided explorers, navigators, and scientists alike. But something strange is happening. Over the past few decades, the magnetic North Pole has been moving, not slowly like a glacier inching along, but at an unprecedented speed, nearly 40 miles per year. It's racing across the Arctic toward Siberia, defying predictions and leaving scientists scrambling for answers. The implications of this shift are staggering. Navigation systems, from traditional compasses to advanced GPS technology, rely on the stability of the Earth's magnetic field. With the pole on the move, maps must be updated more frequently, and navigation errors are becoming a growing concern for everything from shipping routes to military operations. But the bigger question remains: why is this happening? The scientific explanation focuses on the Earth's molten outer core, a churning ocean of liquid iron and nickel that generates the planet's magnetic field. Fluctuations in this molten core, scientists say, are causing the pole to shift. But here's the catch. Even the experts admit they don't fully understand the dynamics at play. The movement of the magnetic North Pole is faster and more erratic than anything previously observed, leaving room for speculation that there might be more to the story. Some theorists propose that this shift could be linked to a phenomenon known as a geomagnetic reversal, a process in which the Earth's magnetic poles swap places. While this has happened many times in the planet's history, the last reversal occurred around 780,000 years ago, long before recorded human history. If we are heading toward another reversal, the effects could be catastrophic. The Earth's magnetic field shields us from harmful solar radiation. During a reversal, that shield could weaken, exposing the planet to increased radiation, disrupting communications, and even altering weather patterns. But what if the shifting pole isn't entirely natural? Some believe the Arctic's magnetic anomaly may be influenced by something artificial, possibly even extraterrestrial. Could there be hidden technologies buried beneath the ice? Technologies powerful enough to interact with the Earth's magnetic field? Theories abound, from ancient alien artifacts to secret military experiments aimed at harnessing the magnetic field for advanced energy or weaponry. These ideas might sound far-fetched, but consider this. If governments were willing to carve missile bases into the ice during the Cold War, what else might they have attempted? Others point to ancient myths that speak of the poles as gateways, points where the Earth connects to other realms or dimensions. Indigenous Arctic cultures, for instance, have long told stories of places where the Earth and sky meet, where the natural and supernatural collide. Could these myths hint at an ancient understanding of the forces at work in the Arctic? The shifting magnetic pole also raises questions about its impact on wildlife. Many species, including birds, whales, and even some insects, rely on the Earth's magnetic field to navigate. As the pole moves, these creatures are becoming disoriented, leading to unusual migration patterns and mass strandings. Could this be an early warning sign, a clue that something bigger is happening, something that affects not just humans but the entire planet? And then there's the geopolitical angle. With the magnetic pole drifting closer to Siberia, Russia is suddenly at the forefront of the Arctic's strategic importance. Could this movement shift the balance of power in the region, giving Russia an advantage in exploiting the Arctic's resources or controlling its airspace? Some have speculated that this shift might not be entirely coincidental, that human activities, whether through advanced technologies or resource exploitation, could be influencing the pole's movement. As with so many mysteries of the Arctic, the shifting magnetic North Pole raises more questions than answers. Is this simply a natural phenomenon, a byproduct of the planet's inner workings? Or is there something more deliberate at play? Forces we don't yet understand, or perhaps forces we're not meant to understand. The Arctic has always been a place of extremes, but the movement of the magnetic pole suggests it may also be a place of profound change. Whether this shift is a natural process or the result of hidden influences, one thing is clear: the Arctic is not as static as it seems. And as the pole continues its unpredictable journey, we may be forced to confront truths that lie beyond the limits of science and into the realm of the extraordinary. The Arctic is a paradox, a place of harsh simplicity that conceals layers of complexity and intrigue. Its icy surface might seem lifeless and still, but beneath lies a symphony of secrets waiting to be uncovered. From covert military operations and shifting magnetic poles to ancient civilizations and unexplained phenomena, the Arctic challenges us to question not only what we know, but how we know it. Think back to everything we've explored. The hidden nuclear city of Camp Century, where the US Army dreamed of waging a war beneath the ice. Was it just a failed Cold War experiment, or did they find something that was too extraordinary or too dangerous to reveal? And what about the whispers of anomalous discoveries, artifacts that don't fit our understanding of history, buried deep within the ice? The unexplained phenomena, too, leave us with more questions than answers. The Arctic hum, the mysterious bloop, and the strange lights that have captivated both ancient peoples and modern witnesses. Are these just natural occurrences, or are they signs of something greater, something we don't yet have the tools to comprehend? And what about the shifting magnetic North Pole, racing across the Arctic like a compass needle gone rogue? Is this a natural quirk of our planet's molten core, or could it be influenced by hidden technologies, forgotten civilizations, or forces we don't dare name? The Arctic is more than a geographical location, it's a symbol, a reminder that the world still holds places where human understanding falls short, where the unknown reigns supreme. It's a region that has drawn explorers, scientists, and governments into its icy grip, not just for resources or strategy, but for the mysteries it guards. But now, as the ice melts, the Arctic secrets are thawing out. The barriers of isolation and time are eroding, and what's hidden beneath may soon rise to the surface. Will we uncover evidence of ancient civilizations, technologies far beyond our current capabilities, or answers to questions about the Earth's magnetic field and its role in the universe? Or will the Arctic's mysteries remain shrouded in secrecy, buried again by those who don't want us to know the truth? The deeper you dig into the Arctic, the clearer it becomes that this frozen frontier is not just a wilderness, it's a mirror. a place where humanity's ambition, curiosity, and fear collide. What we choose to see in that mirror depends on how far we're willing to look and what we're willing to believe. So what do you think? Is the Arctic simply a harsh, remote landscape, a frozen repository of untapped resources and abandoned experiments? Or is it something far greater, a vault of forgotten knowledge, a key to the mysteries of our planet, or even a gateway to something beyond human comprehension? The answers are out there, frozen in time, waiting for those brave enough to search. As we move deeper into the 21st century, the Arctic may hold the power to redefine our understanding of history, science, and perhaps even ourselves. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay watching, because this is just the beginning.